Hey Aquarius, if you are wondering what you can do to have a stronger relationship in March 2019, we're going to talk about what's holding you back and what can set you free so that you can have that stronger relationship. So you've come to the right place. Welcome. My name is Seth. I run Comingouttarot.com. You can always find out more about me over there, but while we're here, we're talking about your queer relationship and how it can be stronger. While I'm getting these cards in order, a couple housekeeping things. This is going to live on YouTube, so if you're on YouTube and watching this on the replay, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep track of each other, and do follow me if you're not already, so we do keep track of each other. I mean, why not? Let's keep track of each other. And then make sure you share it with your friends, because I hope that they'll take advantage of this message as well. So do share with the other Aquarians that need some support. And if you are on YouTube and watching this on the replay, hit that thumbs up button whenever you feel like this content is useful. Because not only does it let me know it's useful, it also gets it in front of other people. Okay, Aquarius, what's holding you back? What's going to set you free? This is life lesson time, Aquarius. Hey, Chu, what's holding you back? This is the world, or is it universe in this deck? The universe is holding you back, Aquarius. It's the universe. And what is going to set you free? This is, thanks for inviting folks, this is the High Priestess. This is a fascinating time, Aquarius. I'm kind of excited about this because Aquarians are, to me, these fascinating creatures that I never quite understand and I just can't keep up with. And this is a hell of a month. You've got the elements of creation. The only thing you don't have here is fire. But what you do have is earth and water, which means you get to make a lot of mud. And eventually, if you got the other elements, if you bring in all the other stuff you need, you have what you need to create whatever is meant to come next. And right now, I don't think you have what you need. So I would encourage you, a couple things. His new boyfriend is a Gemini. It will be interesting to see how all this stuff lines up. What I would encourage you to think about is if it feels like everything's lined up. It feels like everything's lined up. I would encourage you to consider what's missing. Because right now, you're not headed in the right direction. So Aquarius, the reason I say that is it may feel right, it may feel like you got everything you need, but you're missing some stuff. And it's that fire part I'm talking about. It's that you've got the nutrients, you got all the emotional support you need. So you've got these pieces, but you got one more thing. And if you get that spark, if you get that flame, that's what's gonna make things just a little different. And that's what creates. That's what creates. That's when we start to see things grow. Because if you don't have all of these elements, you don't have the ability to create something new. What you've got is like a line and 2 points. So you're going from point A to point B to point A, B, A, B, A, B, and you just keep repeating this pattern until you take yourself out of it with that third element. So what we need right now is some fire. We need some inspiration. We need some passion. And if you can find that inspiration and that passion, then you're going to move forward. It's going to be an incredibly intense experience when it basically writes you. It, instead of headed in what feels like the right direction, it's just not. It's just headed in the wrong. You're doing the right things in the wrong way. When you get that fire or that Leo element added in, then you've got that third element that's going to make something, it's going to create something. And so for your relationship, what we need is that passion, that spark, and it's not there right now. What you've got is some good mud, got a good base. You've got some good fertile ground. Now, where's the spark? All right, how's it going to move forward? What's going to set you free? This is the High Priestess. Two things. Hey, Kathy. Two things. One, got to do some inner work. What is your voice telling you? What is your internal monologue saying about the relationship that you have today and where you'd like it to be. Second, what's the spiritual nature of this relationship? How can you rely on the spiritual nature of this relationship? Maybe you see spirituality in two different ways. Maybe you see it in the same way and you just need to kind of connect on how you see it in the same way. Or maybe you don't have the same sense of spirituality at all. Maybe one of you is spiritual and one of you isn't. The challenge here is to acknowledge it and then decide how you, like, what does that mean to you? Decide how you'd like to move forward. Internalize that and go, is this really part of, is this really the way I want to exist in the world and live my life? And how can I have a long-term relationship with someone who either shares the same spiritual value, nearly shares the same spiritual value, or doesn't share the same spiritual value at all? So there's like 3 different levels, but how do you internalize that and what does it mean to you? Because if we're looking for this husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever type of state, hey Maria, we're talking about a long-term experience, and that long-term experience needs to acknowledge which one of these pieces are most important to you. All right, so there's a lot of discovery, and that's gonna help create some of that spark, because these can be contentious conversations. These can be tough conversations. I would listen back to it, Maria, and see if it does hold some space for you. So in particular, while I'm doing the reading for a queer relationship, if it can translate. It doesn't have to just be for a queer relationship. So if it's resonating with you when you go back and listen to the beginning of this, then yes, it's for you. It is truly, because I'm not doing it for a single person, it is not a unique reading for a person, but it is for all Aquarians, and I'm hoping to reach all the queer ones. So if I happen to reach you and this means something for you, yes, take it, hold it, draw it in, allow it to be part of your experience. You're welcome. Thanks for asking. Chewbacca was saying something about that earlier too in another scope of mine, is that these can transcend. So yeah, it's out there if it needs to be. All right. One other thing I would share with you, and this kept coming to me, and I'm glad I saw it again before I left. Aquarius, one other thing that's helpful is during the course of this month, what your relationship may need is either an extremely close friend for review or consult, or a professional. This can be someone who is schooled in counseling, or someone who is also a therapist, a counselor or therapist. We don't need to go all the way to like psychology. It's not that far. But couples counseling or couples therapy may be part of what gets you to that spark that makes this a stronger, long-term type of relationship. All right. I hope this is helpful. I know if it is, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep track of each other. If you're on YouTube, follow me. If you're on Periscope, because eventually this will live over on YouTube. If you haven't already and you're interested in the energy of the new moon, still maybe hitting some of us, head over to the new moon playlists on my channel and find the new moon for March, and you can add that into this relationship reading where you get a little bit more well-rounded freeness. I've also got... you can purchase readings with me over at Comingouttarot.com if you're interested in having a larger or more specific reading related to your relationships, because the stronger relationships we have, the stronger community we have, and that's where I'm headed. Also, a few podcast things going on. If you haven't heard the Coming Out Coach Life Uncloseted with Rick Clemens, great podcast. Head over, listen to it. I got to do a great interview with him about how tarot helps people overcome fear and come out at whatever stage of coming out you are. If you're about to, if you already have, or if you're coming out on a daily basis, how tarot can help you through all of that. Also, if you're a tarot geek, I just did an interview with the Tarot Lady for her podcast, Tarot Bites. and that should be coming out this weekend, where we geek out about some tarot patterns. And I also got to have a great conversation with CardZB about who Coming Out Tarot is, who I am, and what some of my favorite tarot cards are. And we had a great, just kind of fun conversation about all that. So you can have a getting to know me session with CardZB and the Badass Bitches Tarot podcast. All right. Thanks, Aquarius. We're going to move on to Pisces. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you.